With just 1 week until US elections, lots of America's Arab and Muslim community are asking which candidate would be better for their interests. Thankfully, Republican candidate Donald Trump held a rally in New York on Sunday that helps us answer that question. From Palestine to immigration to jihad, speakers shared their interesting and colorful opinions on the Middle East. First up was disgraced former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani's assertion that Palestinians are indoctrinated into terrorism from birth.
And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old. They won't let a Palestinian in Jordan. They won't let a Palestinian in Egypt. And Harris wants to bring them to you. They may have good people. I'm sorry, I don't take a risk with people that are taught to kill Americans at 2. Donald Trump's on the side of Israel, and they're on the side of the terrorists.
Yes, that Giuliani, the one indicted for election fraud, sued for defamation, and accused of sexual assault, gave Americans advice on who not to take a risk with. Next was Trump's transition team chief, Howard Lutnick, who had a slightly different take on what Trump's policy priority would be. Lutnick really spoke so eloquently to those kitchen table issues worrying American voters this election. You know, the top classics: grocery prices, mortgage payments, and jihad.
So, the first thing, we must elect Donald J. Trump president because we must crush jihad!
Following them was remarkably unfunny comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, who somehow managed to leave enough time after insulting America's Latino and Black communities to also squeeze in a hefty dose of anti-Arab racism and anti-Semitism, a true feat of nature.
When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying?
Last, and certainly not least, was Trump's former advisor Stephen Miller, architect of Trump's infamous Muslim ban and likely to handle immigration policy if Trump wins a second term.
America is for Americans and Americans only.
Stephen Miller's own grandparents immigrated to the US after they were fleeing anti-Semitic pogroms in the Russian Empire in the 20th century. So really what Miller means is America for Americans only, and anyone Miller decides gets a pass. These men are senior advisors in Trump's inner circle, set to take key positions in his administration if he wins next week's election. The fact that this rhetoric has not cooled down but actually heated up the closer that we get to elections suggests that these phrases could go from punchlines to policy very quickly.